This is Magda Rodriguez reporting on assignment 4B for week 15. Purpose of this week's assignment is to create forms and reports in the Pine Hill Music School database that will help track and view information about classes offered. I began by going into the Access database and going into the student table. From there, I was able to create two forms by going on Create and then Form Wizard. The first form that I created was called Student Data, and that was based on the student table itself. I copied the fields over that were necessary and did the formatting that they wanted by being in my format view and then doing my design and themes, and I selected clarity. I also used this, I did right click and I applied the theme only to this object, and I did the same for the student contracts. Contracts by teacher form, however, does not have that formatting. In the contracts by teacher form, I followed the same steps, except here I have a main table. I use the teachers as the main table, and then I use the contract table for the subform. I also went through the fields here, which were in a solid line. I selected them by going to my layout view and clicking on them with my control button held down. I was able to then go into format, shape outline, line type, and change it from a solid line to a dotted line. And I did it through for all of them with the exception of Takes Beginners. I also resized my fields. Then I created my student contract report. Again, create and then report wizard, and I follow the steps through. In my student contracts, again, I use the same theme as I used in my student data by going into my layout view. I also was able to move my labels over so that they would fit appropriately. They were overlapping or truncated a little bit. I also added a logo, and what I did was I went to the design and then I clicked on logo and was able to insert my little piano logo. And then I also added a conditional formatting. I selected the field that I wanted to have a condition. I went into format, conditional formatting, and then I added a new rule on the lesson costs so that any value greater than $200 would be in bold as well as in a maroon 5 font color. And then I hit OK to apply that. To make sure that it took, I minimized my navigation pane and I did a print preview, and I zoomed out so that I can get a better look at my report. As I zoomed out and I went through my pages, I could see right there that my colors were taking effect. The condition was working as I had anticipated. Just want to bring you to my student data and let you know that I was able to change address and do find people by doing my home and hitting my binoculars and finding people. I looked up Teely and I was able to look him up and change his address to 304 Forest Avenue. I also added a new person who ended up becoming record number 24. This was a interesting assignment. Once I was done, I saved it and I did compact and repair database, and I'm just going to hit yes there to close it. So in conclusion, after completing the tutorials on databases, I definitely would be using a database going forward with my volunteer group. Something that we can definitely use as we are now beginning to share responsibilities and work on our overlap territories. As you can see here, these are the two tables that I would create in my database and the fields associated with each table that I am considering. This has been an interesting project. I have enjoyed learning about Access databases. Thank you and best of luck to everyone.